Cardiovascular system is a system containing, also called circulatory system. Cardiovascular system, also called circulatory system. It contains heart, blood, then lymph, and blood vessels. Again, blood vessels are of two types: artery and veins. What is artery? That carries blood from heart. They are known as artery. Maybe it may be oxygenated or may be deoxygenated. Similarly, vein carries blood to the heart. Maybe it may be oxygenated or deoxygenated. So, this cardiovascular system is a network having heart, blood vessels that circulate blood, delivering oxygen, nutrients to cells, and removing carbon dioxide and waste products. They form, particularly heart, arteries, veins, and capillaries, form a network, work together to transport vital substances throughout the body and maintain overall physiological function. We have already told about arteries and veins, but what is capillaries? What is capillaries? Capillaries, there is formation of network of arterioles and venules. Now, what is arterioles and venules? Let us see. Suppose this is an artery. Artery when branches and sub-branches. These sub-branches are called arterioles. Similarly, here vein is there. It branches, then again sub-branches, and ultimately form venules. So ultimately, in this side arterioles, this side venules, suppose there is an organ, particularly say, for example, kidney. So it should be supplied arteries and veins. One will carry oxygenated blood, one will carry deoxygenated blood. So ultimately, both of these arterioles and venules form a network called capillaries. After this, heart is just like a muscular tube. It lies obliquely, particularly on the left side, and base is called. That means if this is a heart, so base will be below, it will be apex, and upper side it will be base. This is the difference of heart with other organ, and it weighs about 310 gram in male and 255 gram in female. Size is about person's fist. It pumps about 7,200 liters blood per day and beating about 1 lakh per day, and actually is present mediasternum between the lungs, and it beats about 60 to 80 beats per minute in adult particularly. But in case of newborn babies, it beats about more, that is 70 to 190 beats per minute. Now the components of heart are already told: heart, blood vessels, and blood vessels are of two types, arteries and veins. Here, the arteries carries oxygenated blood, but exception is there only pulmonary artery, which carry deoxygenated blood to the heart, from the heart to the lungs for purification. Again, veins always carry deoxygenated blood and waste product back to the heart, but after purification in lungs, purified blood, that is oxygenated blood, return to the heart through pulmonary vein. So now it is membrane of heart. Heart is actually covered by a membrane, two-layered membrane, which is called pericardium. It is a double-layered membrane enclosing a sac called pericardial sac containing pericardial cavity, which a fluid called pericardial fluid. Now, actually, the heart contains various layers. Suppose pericardium is again contains, it is of two layered. One is called fibrous pericardium and another is called serous pericardium. This is serous pericardium, this is fibrous pericardium. This serous pericardium, again, fibrous pericardium is the outermost layer, and after this serous pericardium, which is divided into two parts, one is called visceral pericardium, one is called visceral layer of pericardium, of serous pericardium, another is called parietal layer of serous pericardium. Here it is parietal layer of serous pericardium and it is visceral layer of serous pericardium. So both of these visceral layer of pericardium and parietal layer of pericardium form a cavity called pericardial cavity, which contains pericardial fluid, which acts as a shock absorber. That means it protects the heart from external injury and help in the contractile voluntary movement of the heart freely. That means no friction will be there. So after these visceral pericardium, also called epicardium. Actually, pericardium consists of epicardium, myocardium, and endocardium. So this is epicardium, which is also called visceral layer of pericardium. Again, after this epicardium, this is the muscular layer, which is called myocardium, containing contractile voluntary muscle, which help in the contraction of heart, that means movement of heart, done by this myocardium particularly. And last one is endocardium. Now, how many chambers of the heart are there? There are 4 chambers of heart. That is right auricle, left auricle, or also called right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, and left ventricle. All these chambers are connected together because right auricle is connected with right ventricle by opening called right auriculoventricular opening. Again, left auricle open in the left ventricle through left auriculoventricular opening, and these openings are supported by valve, which are known as tricuspid valve or bicuspid valve. So tricuspid valve present in the right side that means between the right auricle and right ventricle, and bicuspid valve, which is also known as mitral valve, present between the left auricle and left ventricle. Beside this, from right auricle, blood passes through pulmonary artery to the lungs for purification, and these valves are guarded by also arterial valve, which are particularly tricuspid in nature. Similarly, in case of here also, when blood from the left ventricle arises and passes to the whole parts of the body, this is also guarded by the valve, which is called semilunar valves. Also, it is also tricuspid in nature. Now, see here, tricuspid valve, 3 leaflets, which allow blood from the right auricle to the left ventricle. They also prevent blood from flowing backward from the right ventricle to the right atrium, already knows. And the pulmonary valve, which is also that means carry blood from the right ventricle to the lungs, that is also called pulmonary artery. This pulmonary valve is also has 3 leaflets, and all the valves prevent blood from going backward. That means it opens only in one side. And here see mitral valves, which is having 2 leaflets, and aortic valves, which arises from this left ventricle, which is called aortic valve. See here, these are the chambers. From here to here, it is tricuspid, and as it is right auricle and right ventricle opening, right auriculoventricular aperture is there, and here it is left auriculoventricular aperture is there, from where it is guarded by mitral valve, that means bicuspid. 2 leaflets are there, and here it is 3 leaflets. Here again pulmonary artery, which carries blood, oxygen blood to the lungs, which is guarded by pulmonary valve, and at the same time aortic valve, which carries oxygenated blood, supplying blood to the whole parts of the body. It is guarded by tricuspid valve. Actually, all the blood from the body, deoxygenated blood particularly, carried by the large vein, which is known as vena cava. The vena cava, which carries blood from the lower parts of the body, they are known as inferior vena cava, and the blood carries by this is inferior vena cava, and the blood carries from the upper side to the right auricle. These particular big vein are known as superior vena cava, and the artery supplying pure blood through the main artery called systemic artery. So after this, heart pumps blood through the artery and distribute into smaller and smaller vessel, ultimately leading to network of capillaries throughout the body. And how it works in the capillaries, oxygen and nutrients are delivered to the cells, and waste products such as carbon dioxide are collected, and in returning, capillaries merge into vein, which carry deoxygenated blood and waste products back to the heart. And at the same time, heart pumps the blood to the lungs, where gaseous exchange occurs. And the Oxygenated blood returns through the heart, which then pumps back to the body, continuing the cycle. So, how heart functions of the cardiovascular system includes it supplies nutrient and oxygen throughout the body. It helps in the waste removal. It also carries white blood cell to fight against infection and protect the body from illness. That means it helps in the immune defense, and at the same time it carries hormones throughout the body to regulate various functions.